Iron Man issue number 25. On top of this being the finale to Christopher Cantwell's amazing run, which we'll get into a little bit, this is the 650 issues of Iron Man, so it is kind of a special. There are like a couple backups in this book. I'll talk about them briefly. I don't think I don't think it's necessary to go into it. So anybody who has been following my channel for a while now, I've covered every issue of this run. I remember I picked it up because Cantwell did a Doctor Doom book I really enjoyed, and I'm like, oh, Tony is kind of a Mechalomaniac the same level as Doom, so I'm curious to see where that's going to go. It's the first time I actually said, I want to read an Iron Man comic. I enjoyed it a lot. I think this book was fun, a great deconstruction of Tony Stark as a character. What is his arrogance? What is his hubris? How does he operate knowing he is a god, knowing he's this smart person, and having the faults of himself being an addict? It explores all of these in great detail, and it's been a really stellar book. Every single issue has impressed me on some level. I'm not going to say it's like the best run ever of Iron Man. It's the one that got me, a guy who hates the concept of MCU Iron Man, to want to read this book. And it was really well done. So the finale coming, I was like, there's no way it can live up to my expectations. Now, as somebody who has read Cantwell's other works in every variety, who knows what the guy does when he's doing even his television work and things like *Halt and Catch Fire*, the guy likes a slow send-off. It's kind of just like the Lindelof thing of, you know how it's going to go no matter what. And since it's a comic book and serialized storytelling, we're not doing like the finite finale. We're going to end this run kind of the way we started it. And that's kind of cool if you ask me. So it's Iron Man Day in New York City. The entire city in some aspect is like getting very excited about representing Iron Man and having a good day. The world thinks Tony Stark was in a coma for the past couple months when he was actually doing the source control stuff, which we remember about here. So now he's got every single piece of technology that source control had. It is in a warehouse, and he's going to spend some time dismantling it. Or that's like the idea that Rhodey thinks is going to go into his head. But who's to say what's really going to happen? The only piece of technology that he doesn't have is the Mandarin rings, which he gave to Riri, and she's going to be working to change the world with them, doing her own thing. And through all of this, I'll do it sparingly, talking about like Tony's narration as we get through the book, because some of it's more important than others. Tony says if anybody's going to change the world with the rings, it's going to be Riri. I trust her to do it. I don't know if she can. I am hesitant because I know what the rings can do. But if anyone has the capabilities, it is her. He also talks about what Patsy has been up to throughout the entire run of this book. If you haven't been paying attention, there was the huge subplot of Tony Stark and Patsy Walker potentially getting married, being together. They are two broken people who have failed a lot in their lives and were pretty much cracked throughout the entirety of this run. Well, she's in San Francisco now. She's doing some more, I guess you call it supernatural stuff. She's talking to Sleepwalker, which is very fascinating. There's like a ghost hotel. It's kind of fun. Or ghost prison, I should say. I think it's Alcatraz. There's ghosts in Alcatraz. Kind of fun. But Tony admits to us that they haven't really talked in a while, and he's kind of hesitant to see her. He doesn't really know what to do. So he's just flying through New York, and he's watching everybody set up for Iron Man Day. And he's like, this is kind of a lot. And I guess it's kind of nice that people still want to see me, even after everything I've done as a person. People are excited. Some of them aren't. Some of them don't like who I am. And some of them just don't care, which is, it's kind of nice, because life just goes on. And then you see like a panel where people are screaming about like, hey, people are going to get sick here because of water pollution, but Spider-Man just saved a little girl, so it's all good, And Tony is just trying to think of what is he going to say at this event. He's like, you're welcome, thanks for honoring me. I don't really know what I'm supposed to go. So he says, I'm just going to take a little bit of a walk, maybe clear my head, figure out what I want to do. But he's watching people set up, and he realizes, I can't do this. This is a lot. I gotta go. I gotta fly some more. Heads back in the skies. Everything's kind of just quiet because everyone's getting ready for Iron Man Day. Or that's what he thinks, at least. So he's gonna go, I guess, take the subway. So he heads down there just to kind of like clear his head some more. And he finds a guy, and he is having a seizure, or he is sick. The man needs some... He needs help. It's probably a heart attack. They call it a cardiac event. So he's like, oh shit, okay, boss, call a hospital. We'll see what I can do to stop him. We got to give him CPR, but I can't do it with these on. I got to take off my gauntlets and help him out. It doesn't sound like his heart's beating very fast. I gotta do what I can to help him. So he tries pumping his heart. It doesn't really work. He's like, okay, I'm going to administer a defibrillator. See what it's got. Okay, that doesn't really work either. This isn't working. The guy kind of snaps back into it. And Tony's like, it's okay, I'm here with you, I'm going to help you, everything's going fine, just stay with me. But the guy collapses again, and Tony's like, well, screw it, I got to take this guy to a hospital. So he just blasts out of there, storms into the emergency section of a hospital, hands the guy away to the doctors, and just sits in the waiting room, and eventually a doctor does show up. It's like, well, he died. And as Tony's waiting, he receives that news. We hear the speech coming from the Iron Man Day celebration where everyone's like, well, we know Iron Man really wanted to be here, but he's probably doing something heroic on behalf of all of us. It's kind of fun. But Tony was just waiting for someone to die, and he hears the news, and he realizes as he's walking away, he never even took his helmet off. He never even let the man see his face. Someday that's been, you know? Very messed up. And as Tony's just walking by, he catches up to Patsy, and she's like, I heard everything. You tried your best. It's okay. In this line of work, it happens. This is par for the course for our lives, Tony. It's something that happens, and we deal with it. She's like, I got something to show you. Come to Avengers Mansion with me. And Tony's like, I guess. Most people don't care about Iron Man Day, but some of them do. Some people do. And when they walk into Avengers Mansion, who's waiting there for him but a couple of his buddies just to celebrate Iron Man Day? You know, Captain America, Thor, The Thing, Spider-Man, Rhodey, Frogman, all your favorites are just there. And Tony smiles. And that's where the part of the book ends. That's Cantwell's part. We get a couple of smaller stories. So we get one that I think it's set in Jotunheim. And it's whatever. It's going to be leading into like the 60th anniversary special next year. Busiek writes like a vintage story with Radioactive Man and Madame Mask. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of cute. And then I think we get a little bit of a tease for Duggan's ongoing series, which starts up next freaking month. I'm like, really? We can't even have like a second to digest this ending? I don't like that. If I have one like complaint about the never-ending cycle of comic books, it's just we don't let things have a second to breathe. We just have to move on to the next thing. But I think this is as good as a finale as you can want from Cantwell's book. Again, he did kind of do like his big finale when Korvac kind of like killed himself, and that was Tony like, well, some people can't hack it. And not like that, but you know what I mean. But this is a good enough ending for the character where you've pretty much said everything you could. Tony tries to be the hero, he fails, and yet it's on the day where people are celebrating his heroics. It is a very, very curious idea to explore, and it makes sense for me. It's not the deconstruction anymore for this character that Cantwell is interested in. It's Tony accepting happiness, and that is how you should end this book, where Tony spends the entire issue feeling like a fraud. Like, I just took every dark weapon off the dark web. It's kind of scary. I gave some powerful stuff to a child. The girl I love is off doing her own thing. The world thinks I'm a hero. I think I'm a fraud. I can't even save one man from having a heart attack. And I think that is a really good just wrap up for this book. But at the end of the day, no matter how hard Tony tried, he has his friends, which is a nice message. It's very comic booky, and it's good. I've enjoyed this comic from the beginning. I have said that from 2 years ago. I've said that this book has been a part of my life for 2 years, and I will be an advocate of it for years to come. I think it is one of the best modern depictions of Tony Stark because it's not about Iron Man. It's not about Iron Man doing these things or being like, look at this tech genius. It's a guy who, do we need billionaires in this life? Do we need this arrogant hero who wants to have a god complex to save us all? And it's Tony realizing, I'm pretty much good where I am. I don't know if I need to be the hero the world accepts of me or if I should just try to make myself better. That's a really good idea for Iron Man and for Tony Stark. I really dig that. You have some really good artwork in this book. I love to see it. The characters all look clean and crisp, and the writing is as sharp as ever. It is a worthy finale to this Cantwell series, and I look forward to seeing what he has in store later for other characters. I know he's doing Namor right now. I've talked about that book. This is fun. Very excited to see where this is going to go. Honestly, it's cool, but as a finale, it's great. I'll try the Duggan run. If I'm not feeling it, we'll see what happens. But To everybody who followed me on this journey, we have a worthy finale. So Iron Man issue number 25, I am going to give a 9 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.